CM Punk and Booker T have a backstage run-in at NXT. Plus, Mercedes Moné comments on her AEW debut, and a WWE legend is returning to the ring. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Punk and Booker apparently having a little bit of a to-do at the NXTs, Andrew. What's going on?
Well, Booker T had a few words to say on his podcast, right? He said, I did, in regards to having an altercation with CM Punk. He says, I did. I saw Punk. No, we'll talk about that off air, he says to his co-host. But I almost had a little run-in with CM Punk. The internet might want to pick that up. Me and CM Punk almost got into it at NXT this week. We'll talk about it later. I don't want to put it out there because they're going to pick it up and run with it. But yeah, I'll talk to you later about that off the air.
I do a lot of great work for charity. I don't like to talk about it. Don't ask me about it. Don't ask me on it. Okay, we'll get to the setup of those comments in a minute. But yeah, so Booker T and CM Punk apparently having a little bit of a thing at NXT. It was late last year on the same podcast that Booker T made his opinions on CM Punk very much known. He said he didn't just leave WWE, he got fired by WWE. He didn't just leave AEW, he got fired by AEW. What value does a person like that bring to your company? There was also an incident many years ago prior to this when Booker T got very upset with CM Punk playing locker room leader. It was talk of him throwing his trash on the floor, upset with CM Punk's the way he acted like he was leading the locker room, apparently. And that has kind of led to this bit back and forth with Booker T and CM Punk that has apparently happened, according to Booker T, in a very roundabout way. CM Punk has, of course, been backstage for a few NXT events since his injury. This particular trip he had to NXT was quite under wraps. Fightful Select say that many within NXT didn't know he was even there until photos began making the rounds of him just poking his head around the outside.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw the photos and everything.
Like a meerkat.
Yeah, exactly like a meerkat.
A more lax meerkat, though. Fightful tells us a bit more about this, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
they do. They say, as of now, we've not heard anything of the sort actually emanating from the tapings, and one source told Fightful it was Booker being Booker and probably just trying to create a headline.
Wow.
Naughty man.
It's there.
It's there.
And it has.
It has indeed. I thought, didn't we hear recently that when CM Punk and Booker T did see each other after CM Punk's return to WWE recently, that they kind of just like squashed the beef? They were both like, we've said things about each other in the past, but we're right now.
They squashed the beef?
Yeah, they squashed the beef. I don't know. Maybe it is just Booker, just being Booker, as Fightful says there. I don't know.
Either way, it's 3 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Mercedes Moné made her official debut for AEW on Wednesday. She's had a busy time of it. She was on the media tour since then. She's done a couple of interviews. She was at the Celtics and Suns basketball game last night. Very much getting a close-up and a nice little plug for Dynamite in there as well. Like we say, Andrew, she's been on the interview trail, hasn't she?
Yeah, she was speaking to NBC 10 about her first night in AEW, and she said, my fans from all over the world, it wasn't just fans from Boston, they came from all over the world, legit, to celebrate such a beautiful and amazing moment. To have it here in Boston was so incredible, to be out in the crowd and to see my brother's face, my mum, it's so crazy to see how far I've come. I'm the happiest I've ever been here in AEW. Now, that wasn't the only place that she was speaking about this night. She also spoke to Renee Paquette for AEW's YouTube channel and talked about the debut, saying, what unbelievable feeling that I still haven't really gotten to process. I can't wait to watch back all the videos. That was legit one of the coolest reactions in all my time in wrestling.
It felt really good. You could tell that she was very happy to be there. There was a lot of energy in Boston that night for Mercedes Moné. I think it sets up for some really exciting things going forward.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, we spoke yesterday about the stuff on the news as well, the stuff about Mercedes Moné, like the things that hopefully she'll be doing with Willow Nightingale to tie that background. Perhaps something to do with Britt Baker as well would be really good. You know, there's the Forbidden Door, so there's still the potential to do stuff with the New Japan there as well, which would be really cool. Yes, lots of things to look forward to, hopefully, for Mercedes Moné's future.
Now, as for the ratings, Big Business averaged about 801,000 viewers on TBS. That's up 2.8% on last week, but it ties with the third lowest audience for Dynamite in 2024. However, it drew about the same numbers in that all-important 18 to 49 demo. So I think when they're breaking down the numbers, there was obviously a hope that AEW would go over the mill with the Mercedes Moné debut and obviously appearances by Will Ospreay and Okada. That hasn't materialized in the way that they hoped, but I think the fact that they've managed to hold steady sometimes, and I only know this from my experience of working in the flipping radio industry, where every quarter we had the radar results, and some days it was a case of if we held steady, that was all right.
That was good enough. That was all good.
Yeah, if it was a tiny bit up, happy days. If it was down, then it's a failing in the system and it's nothing to do with us. And I definitely shouldn't get sacked, please. So we'll see what's to come with Mercedes Moné and see whether long term there is a slow change to ratings in AEW. Now, two returns to talk about. An ex-WWE Women's Champion could be on the way back. Well, according to her, definitely on the way back. When asked on Twitter if she ever planned on returning, Alexa Bliss quote retweeted and said, "Yep."
Which isn't a surprise, I don't think. I would like to see her back. It's been a long time since we've seen her, I believe. The 2023 Royal Rumble, where she faced off against Bianca Belair for the Women's Championship. A very long time. A very, very long time. Where would you sort of see her factored into things if she were to come back?
Well, do we tie up the spooky Susan-esque character, or do we forget that ever happened to go back to Goddess Alexa Bliss?
Because that's what I was sort of thinking something similar too. We got little hints, I feel like, of the Goddess persona before she kind of she's been away for quite a while. I was thinking maybe if there's plans to bring Uncle Howdy back, to maybe bring Bo Dallas into the picture, perhaps something there will be good for her too. I'm happy with either or, to see how either or go, really.
I like it. Now, the other return is that of a legend from WWE who's very much doing his thing in AEW right now. Who are we talking about, Andrew?
We are talking about AEW star Paul White, who shared a video on Instagram yesterday coming home from a sweaty gym workout and taking out the trash. He then declared, "I will be back in the ring soon." He said, please don't mistake my sweatiness for me just taking the rubbish out. I've actually been to the gym."
I was going to say, if you're getting up that much of a sweat taking the bin to the end of the road, I'd probably seek some medical advice.
Yeah. Now, obviously, Paul White hasn't competed since the Like a Dragon street fight that saw him get absolutely body slammed onto a car by Powerhouse Hobbs in a tremendous feat of strength there from Hobbs.
It's just tremendous, because I don't think Paul White did anything other than exist when he came to do it. That power slam.
Just there. It's nice to see him active and sort of, in the gym looking fantastic, because there was a period in Paul White's life where even he spoke about it before, like things were getting on top of him a little bit, and he looks in tremendous shape.
He's in great nick, but he's up there. And he's had some wear and tear.
Yes, yeah.
When we saw him Like a Dragon, I think a lot of people commented on his legs.
Yes,
he seemed to be in discomfort with his legs. They didn't quite look right. If Paul White's going to return, I want it to be on the terms of Paul White in a way that works for him and the business as a whole.
Agreed.
That'd be nice to see.
Agreed.
I don't think he's ever going to make that full-time wrestling return.
No.
I think he's somebody that you bring in to help put over a meaty person, maybe.
Yeah, agreed. I think, his roles, it was him, wasn't it, at All In with Grado? Was it him?
Yeah,
like stuff like that.
My best mate Grado.
Your best mate Grado.
Being my best mate Jeff Jarrett.
Things like that are really fun to see him be a part of, and I feel like, it gets the crowd ready and excited for the stuff that's to come later on in the evening as well. So I like him in that role.
He's of an era as well. We've obviously named him there as a WWE legend, and that can't be denied. He's a former WWE champion. He spent a big amount of time of his career working for WWE, and he's a bit of a throwback in a good way. So I think someone that you can bring out that casual fans will remember. Yeah. Oh, it's the Big Show.
Agreed, yeah.
That's a good thing. Obviously, we can't call him Big Show because we'll get told off by the copyright police. But expect Paul White to do something very, very soon. Fraser Fraser Porter on Twitch tonight. Internet Exploring with Fraser Porter is our brand spanking new Twitch show from our very own Fraser Porter. This is where you go on flights of fancy across the internet with our own Fraser Porter, and it's quite spooky and psychic tonight.
Oh, I thought it was it he was doing stuff like mediums last week?
It continues this week.
Oh, I'm excited to see.
Twitch.tv.
Are you a believer?
He's I'm getting the word. Fraser Porter.
You can't say that word.
Say Fraser Porter. Twitch.tv/Cultaholic, 6 p.m. GMT. And this weekend on Sunday, a brand new 4-part podcast deep dive, a Cultaholic retrospective featuring myself, Fraser Porter, and Cultaholic.com's editor-in-chief, Aidan Gibbons. We're calling it Rhodes to WrestleMania.
Ooh.
It is a comprehensive deep dive into the story that Cody Rhodes is looking to finish in April. And we go much further back than the slap from The Rock. We go further back than last year's WrestleMania. We go all the way back to the beginning of his time. Find out all about the stuff. Maybe there'll be stuff in there that you never knew about Cody Rhodes' story. Like, example, his dad's reaction to when he said he wanted to become a wrestler whilst they were sat at a Waffle House.
I thought you were going to say the fact that his dad is Dusty Rhodes.
Did you know his
might
dad
not know.
was Dusty Rhodes?
No, that's very cool.
Talk about plans that were scuppered for him to become a main event player in WWE. The real heartbreaking final few months of Cody before he stepped away to find his own destiny as well. We go deep into that. There's loads of stuff that I learned when we put this together, and hopefully there'll be loads of stuff that you learn about it as well. Part 1 focuses on that first WWE run. The story begins, and it is available on the podcast feed on Sunday. And if you are a Patreon, as a thank you, you can watch the video version of it at patreon.com/Cultaholic. You plugging out?
I got now to plug. Go watch Fraser. Go and watch his blubbing. Go watch their stuff as well. Go on.
Come on over here, you lot. And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Keys.
I love you. Bye.